Hello everyone, my name is Rex and thank you so much for watching my channel. Recently we have discussed many topics, how you can buy, where you can buy, which shares, how much you need to buy stock, but we haven't discussed yet another very crucial and important topic, and that is when should you sell your stock. Whether you're a long-term investor, short-term investor, or dividend investor like me, you should have reasons, or you should have reasons to determine when, or have a strategy on when you should decide to sell a stock. So over my investing career and also learning from other investors, I have found out 4 factors to determine when you should sell your stock, and those are the 4 reasons that I'm going to discuss today. So please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed, so that in case I release another video, you'll always be able to watch. So let us discuss those 4 reasons that I think are very crucial when determining when exactly to sell your stock. So let us watch. Number 1 is, even before thinking of selling or buying or doing anything in the stock market, you should have an objective, you should have an aim, you should have a goal on why you're going to buy stock on any stock exchange. So I will give you my objective or reason. I'm sure some of you who have been watching my channel, they know my goal, my aim, because my objective, I'm a dividend value investor. Over time, I plan to live off my dividends by investing in the stock market. I want that at a certain level, I will be earning dividends as my salary over time. So that is one of my objectives, and I even plan to hold a stock when I buy it forever, as long as it is valuable and it is giving me dividends. So there are many reasons, others, whether you're short-term or long-term, there are many reasons why you should buy a stock. Maybe it is fundamentally appealing to you, or it's because of the certain management, I really like the management, or it is paying a dividend, as I told you. Also, it is also growing at an astronomical rate. You believe it is going to continue growing. So there are many reasons. So one of the reasons why you should sell a stock is when your objective or your goal is no longer in that stock. Let us give examples. For example, if it has been paying dividends and maybe it has missed like 3 years, financial years, and it has been reducing the dividends, and you see like the fundamentals are not doing very fine, that is one of the reasons why you should sell a stock, because it doesn't meet your goals. Another way of looking into things as far as objectives is concerned, you bought it when it was growing at maybe 10 or 15%, but the growth has started reducing even below your expectations. That one also shows you that a signal that it is no longer going to be doing very fine. That is the reason why you should sell a stock. Another way of looking at objective side is, maybe it was being managed by certain team, and the team is no longer managing because of one reason or the other, and you don't believe in certain management that is going to take your company anywhere. That is another reason why you should sell stock, because management is very important. As if you have been watching my channel, you know I discussed in detail of how management can affect the company. That is one reason. Knowing why you bought a stock will give you the best picture of when you should buy a stock, as I discussed. Second reason why you should determine how or when you should sell a stock is portfolio rebalancing. You can look at it into 2. One, if you invest in stock, you have certain expectations. Also, you're also following other stocks or shares on how they are doing. So for example, you are investing in a certain stock and it has done very well. Maybe it has exceeded even 50% or 100%. And you have seen another interesting stock. Maybe it has declined certainly, and the fundamentals are still very sound. So what myself I normally do, I sell part of shares of that company that has appreciated so much. Sell part of it because you don't want to punish your shares for doing very fine. What you can do, you can minimize on of it and buy another stock that you feel is being undervalued or is doing very fine. Another way of looking into portfolio rebalancing is, at least in your portfolio, you should have certain kind of cash that in case the shares decline and they are fundamentally very strong, you take that advantage when you have a cash. Because we all know, even if there's a stock market declines and you don't have cash on your side, there's nothing much you can do. You have to just celebrate and say, if I had a cash. But what you can do, if you have shares that are doing very fine and you think they are maybe overvalued, you can sell part of it, and if you haven't found a great stock that you should invest in, you sell part of it and also keep certain amount of cash, that in case you get a stock that you have been following, it has declined certainly and is strong, it has the strong fundamentals, you cash in. I mean, you buy a stock because you already have cash. So that is how you can also decide to sell your stock. Thirdly is competition. Actually, even me, before studying much about competition, I used to undermine competition. But competition is one of the things that can make a company go bankrupt or make it irrelevant. I'm going to give you like 3 examples. I'm sure you'll get an idea of why or when you should sell a stock because of competition. One is Nokia. I think everyone knows Nokia because it used to be the strongest, or if I'm not mistaken, #1 telecom or telephone company in the whole world. But now it is no longer that much hyped company. When you talk of Apple, when you talk of Huawei, when you talk of other companies like Samsung, you don't bring Nokia around. What was the reason why it declined? Because it did not pay attention to the competition, the Android revolution. It brought Lumia, it was using Windows, but Windows was not as popular as Android. So they did not pay much attention to the changing environment. So when they did not pay attention to the competition of Android revolution, the Android revolution had to eat up into Nokia. Though of recent it has started coming up making phones of Android version, but it's already late. It may come up, but you can see how Android revolution spoiled the once praised phone company to almost disappearing. So that's how. So you should pay attention what kind of competition is your company subjected to, and you should also know when it is losing the battle. You should not get married to the stock. If it is losing the market, you should be able to tell when, so that you can move away from it or sell even if it is declining, but you should sell. So that is an example of Nokia. Let me bring a closer example in our East Africa. If you're in Uganda, you know of Monitor, you know of NTV. If you're in Kenya, you know of NTV Kenya, you know of Nation Media Group. So Nation Media Group is another example. The social media revolution world over, actually, it had to interrupt print media business, and those people who did not listen, because even up to now print media hasn't found the best solution to compete with the social media revolution. So if you had invested in print media companies, even up to now, you should be deciding to sell if you haven't sold, because those people, for example, National Media Group, it used to be over 100 Kenyan shillings, but as of now, it is, as I quote, it is below 60 Kenyan shillings, and I believe it is going to continue declining, because even though it is making some strides in revolutionizing also or updating their media houses digitally, it hasn't been able to challenge the social media competition. So I still believe the media companies are still going to face the challenges, because as I said, the National Media Group, only 4% of digital sources contribute to its finances. Still, print media is still the strongest source of their income. So I still believe if you're still invested in media companies, and you should look into how much they are getting from digital markets and also print media. If it is still in print media, just know it is still going to decline, because social media is still beating the print media companies. So that is another example. If you're invested in print media companies, just take caution, because social media is still beating print media companies. Third example, it's not yet there, but I believe in a few years, 5 to 10 years, if you're a long-term investor, you should look into this example. It's about electric car revolution. What do I mean? If you have heard of the companies like Tesla, you know that now they are making electric cars that don't use oil, or they don't use fuel. So if in the near future, companies that deal in fuels, Total, Shell, though they are trying to diversify, it's going to be very hard to compete with electrical car manufacturers, and also companies that deal in manufacture cars, and they are not listening, or they are not doing anything to also involve themselves in making electric cars. They are going to find it hard to compete with electrical cars. Maybe the only problem that is still in the electric cars is because they are still expensive, but when the prices lower a bit, and they are almost selling at the same price with these fuel generated cars, I can bet the fuel cars, they are going to be low priced. Therefore, the share price for those companies that deal in fuel cars, they are not going to beat the electrical cars. So if you're also planning to invest in those companies that deal with cars that are fueled by fuel, you should also look into how they generate their their income, whether the big percentage is because of the manufacturing cars that are being fed on fuels. Another thing on electric cars is, if the companies, for example, there are companies that use petrol, diesel to also do their business. They are going to benefit, because yes, the oil industry has also declined, because oil is also declining, but the people who use fuels to do their businesses, they are going to benefit from it. So you should also be making research which companies use fuels which I can invest in, because I think in the near future oil is going to be declining more and more. So people who use fuel generated companies, they are going to benefit from it because of low prices. So that's another way of looking into competition. Finally, another reason why you should sell a stock is when you have enough money. For example, me, I plan to sell if the company that I invested in is fundamentally well. I only plan to sell when I have another better option. Maybe I want to buy a house, or I want to buy a car, or I have another reason why I should buy a stock that is better than my stock that I'm holding. So that's one of them. All you have gotten rich, all you have you're fulfilling your dream. So that is another reason why you should sell stock. And I pray that everyone sells a stock because their target has been met. So that is simply, those were the 4 reasons why you should sell a stock. Let me hear from you, maybe when you have sold a stock and why you sold a stock. Maybe we can learn also from you. Please don't forget to comment your reasons why you sold a stock or why you think you should sell a stock. And also don't forget to comment, like, and also hit the bell notification that in case I release another video, you don't miss out on other videos. Thank you for watching again, and if you haven't subscribed, please consider to subscribe, because I know your subscription means a lot to me, because I know there are many people who are following me and also get inspired to release more videos concerning the stock market. As my channel says, I want to inspire, I want to encourage you people. I also want to teach, also share experience of investing in the stock market, because I believe the stock market is the future of Africa, or East Africa. As Africa is growing, we should also take that advantage to invest in companies that are investing in Africa. As they grow, we also grow with them, and one opportunity is stock market. Once again, thank you for watching and have a nice day. Bye bye.